Alright friends, welcome back again to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment, and this is a continuation from the last episode. We were heading to Legetta and multiple armies were converging here. There's of course many armies roaming around my land because I'm fighting everybody, and it does look like we're going to be fighting two different kingdoms here. It looks like this Northern Empire and maybe Western Empire, and you can see my troops are quite injured here from the previous battle, so we'll run on normal player damage, but this rates to be even harder than the first battle, which, if my memory serves me correct, was almost the same amount of troops against us. And of course we've got some losses here. So we can throw our units into the 8th Corps here and try to figure out some strategy. I've got this river. This is a not a very favorable map. I don't like the layout of this so well. I've got very little cavalry as well for this. Normally I like to use cav screens, of course, to protect our units. I'm thinking about trying something different. What do you think about something like this? Does this seem totally insane to you? We could do a compacted grouping of crossbow on one side of the river, and then, no, not like that, kind of long and narrow with cav sort of in front to give them a little bit of protection. And then on the other side I can have archers on a ridge. I think we'll get a little bit of a crossfire from this. We might be able to divide the enemy, which will help because they're seriously outnumbered. If I get the 1st and 6th Corps over here on the right, and if I put my other archers up on this bank, if I can get the enemy to kind of come between these two banks, right, these archers will have really nasty crossfire, right? They'll be shooting effectively opposite each other. Thank goodness there's no friendly fire. I've got a 2nd cav unit I can put up here as a guard, and the 8th Corps as well. I can position up on this ridge, and I think these guys will still have line of sight to throw javelins and shoot. Of course, a lot of them are injured, but they have very nasty ranged attacks. So if I can keep them alive for a little while in this battle, they should be able to do a great amount of damage. This is risky. This seems, if you're wondering if I've lost my marbles, it does seem very risky given the situation here. But sometimes you gotta try some unique things to win difficult battles here. You see this river in between. If I can sort of channel the enemy, ideally I can get them to get all the way in the river, because then they'll move slower, and we'll be able to really hammer them with these archers. And as much as the crossbow, that 4th Corps over there on the left, it seems vulnerable. Remember, I can just turtle those guys. Those guys can go into a shield wall. A lot of those guys are still pretty high level. Look at the enemies just tearing in here. That's not a good sign. Usually when the enemy's highly aggressive, it means bad things in a battle. It means the AI, typically, that means the AI just thinks it's like free lunch, and they charge. Look at how reckless they're charging in. We need to try to bottle up some of this cav here. Can't let these guys just tear into our archers. But again, that crossbow division over there, it's not that helpless. I can have it go into a square, and those guys, most of them have shields. And so if the enemy doesn't attack them, they can shoot. And if the enemy attacks them, they can square up. Now my 1st infantry's down here in a square. I'm kind of hoping to use them as a distractionary square, but we're going to try to move them back, because what I want is this big long line of infantry, the enemy infantry here, chasing this group of guys in a square. They're all trying to wail on it, chasing these guys in a square, and then hopefully this crossfire wears these guys out. It is a fuckload of troops, though. I am very concerned about how much infantry they have. Of course they have, it seems like they have a ton of cavalry as well. Maybe they don't have any archers. I don't know. It just seems like they're everywhere. See, their infantry sort of actually gave up on that square. It's kind of heading towards our 6th Corps and our archers, which is that's not part of the plan here. We're going to have the 6th Corps charge. I've got that cav division kind of back there guarding still. Yeah, see, they're still bound up on the square, but they have so many infantry that they're actually charging up the hill at our 6th as well. I'm going to continue to move these guys back, though. The death spam is very bad, or at least the last time I looked up, it was very bad. So that's a very ominous side. And these guys are elite troops. This is just all elite Manablions, Oathsworn, Legionnaire. This definitely bodes ill for this battle. Now they backed off. It looks like they're a little bit confused as to what to attack. You see they're down here. This is kind of what I was hoping for, that they would be down in the valley. So we're charging with the 1st, 6th, and 8th. We're going to try to attack them now that they're sort of dispersed and getting weakened by all this arrow fire. They're actually, it looks like they're reforming. Let's charge with our archers too. We can have these guys hold charge or hold fire and charge. God, there's a lot of them still. This happens sometimes in my campaign. Sometimes I'll face a fully mature army where it's just all elite troops, and you just have to brood it out. This guy here is just fucking kicking everybody's ass. This is a high-level lord, evidently. Down he goes. All right, so we're going to try to reset this. I've got my infantry again on the right flank here. I'm noticing my cav is diminished considerably. It's probably because they're out there charging and getting shot by the enemy. We can hold arrows here for a second as the enemy regroups for another attempt here. Now that 3rd cav has done a pretty good job over there protecting those crossbow. That's gonna continue to work, I think. They really didn't pay the crossbow much attention there, which is, again, is a benefit for us because that means that they're shooting the guys on the side. It's like a flank attack the whole time that infantry was coming in. We got our long-range lucky javelins going tonight. Maybe that's a good omen. I've got a little area here to retreat to if things get ugly, but I don't like the layout of it. There's no ideal slope to kind of run over and do a reverse slope defense. I don't like this battlefield. This is obviously, we just fought on this. I like the river, but the river is very shallow and short. It's not enough to dramatically slow down the enemy here. So their cav is over there kind of charging. Whoops, I dropped my, I didn't realize I dropped my pole arm there. So we're gonna have those guys protected. Enemy cavs attacking those crossbows. We'll square them up. Let's kite back here. This infantry's coming in hard. Okay, our archers are over there. They are now clear, so we can have those guys spread apart and fire. But the enemy's coming in hot and heavy in here with another big wave of infantry. God, they have a lot of tough infantry. Sort of pouring up this slope at our archers. Send these guys in. These archers can fly in. But at this stage, honestly, I'm a little perplexed as to what my next step is. Of course, I need reinforcements. The enemy just seems to be barreling in. Now these are archers coming in for melee. Sergeant crossbowmen. There's reinforcements. So they just came over the ridge here. Our troops, though, are going to get railed, though, before these guys can help. What do we got? We got archers, the 4th Corps archers, the 1st Corps infantry. Let's get these guys brought down here in a hurry. But again, the angles here are just lousy. If I put crossbow here, you can see they can't shoot over this ridge. This is just a scrum. Our troops are just fighting hand to hand. It's an ugly, bloody battle. Get our infantry down in that valley. That might help a little bit. I don't know if those guys are even going to be able to get down there, though. They're going to be met by enemy infantry before they can even really set up. Of course, there's chaotic cavalry just running through, spearing people. Again, the death spam just turned really bad. Motherfuckers trying to spear me. It's a lot more death in this battle than I'd like to see, especially considering there may be another battle after this. There probably will be. They have a ton of archers moving up now. It seems like we're outnumbered 5-1, not 2.5 to 3-1. It seems a lot worse than it actually is. I don't know why that is. It just seems like the enemy is everywhere. This infantry is now starting to push downhill. They're going to make some ground. But there's a huge amount of archers now shooting, and they have a really good angle on us because we're on this hill. They are shooting, you know, basically directly at all of our archers. Our archers have very little protection. Damn, that guy fucking drilled me in the head somehow. I'm losing companions. I keep seeing named companions drop. This is the kind of, I just got fucking drilled in the face with a shot. There's endless enemy forces. This is one of those battles I'm very glad I have the RTS mod. A lot of times in the past I would run a half player damage for a battle like this just so that I could stay on my horse the whole fight. But at least at this stage I'll be able to go on fighting if I get dropped from my horse here. I pull over this ridge here. We're suffering a lot of losses on this pullback. I've got this wide open area here. I guess this is the best thing I've got. It is a little tiny bit of a ridge that they're going to have to come over, and they're going to get shot a lot as they come over that, but it's far from optimal. Their forces are fucking pursuing here. This is definitely not our most masterful tactical performance. I've had some users actually say that they like that they like to see not necessarily us lose in our campaign, but just us to struggle, right? They're used to struggling, and of course I don't always show struggles in our campaign. Now you shouldn't take that we just roll over every single enemy, every single fight. One of the things that's important to remember as you watch the battles on our channel is that I'm really only recording. Well, I record almost every battle, but I'm really only keeping and narrating about a fifth or even like an eighth of the battles. Alright, so I've got infantry in the front here. We're probably going to charge with them. Archers behind. They have a pretty good line of sight for these archers coming over the ridge here. The enemy's definitely going to take a beating. You can see all the arrows flying in there, eviscerating these enemies. Our archers, or our infantry rather, is charging, but we're still seriously outnumbered here. I'm kind of following. God, who shot me there? I was like in the middle of nowhere. Oh, I'm like fucking stuck on this tree. I'm gonna get dropped. I am literally. I can't fucking move. Oh, you gotta be shitting me, man. Come on. Well, that happened actually to this character's dad. He got stuck in a tree and killed. So we'll take hold of this fucking executioner guy here with the giant axe. He swings it slow as molasses, but at least the battle goes on. It's not just a AI on AI. So what do we got going on here? Let's see. We've got a line of their infantry and archers pressing in. He swings incredibly slow with his axe. I might as well be fucking... And the guy just blocks my axe. Alright. What do we got here? We got two different archer corps, so let's split these guys up. Let's bring the infantry back. Let's use the infantry as a square and split these two different infantry divisions up. What we can do with them is we can... Yeah, you're stuck in the tree too, motherfucker. Those trees are killing a lot of people tonight. I need a horse is what I need. This guy moves molasses slow. It would definitely help if I had a horse. I do have infantry coming in. I've got some cav. So we can use these archers in effectively a wide radius. We can have these guys basically positioned almost like an angle. Yeah, these guys shot this guy off so I can take his horse. The infantry's taking forever to come up. A lot of these guys are getting chased. It's a messy fucking battle to be sure. He can still kill guys, it just takes him fucking forever to swing his fucking weapon. So our cav, we can do a little bit of flanking of some of these enemy troops, and we can help our troops get out of here. All these infantry guys that are trying to get to our army, we can do a little screening. Alright, so let's put infantry here in a line, and let's stretch archers up on one side. We'll bring them up over this ridge, and the other archers can be down there, and what we'll have is another crossfire on the enemy. As they come in here, right, we've got cav in a square, infantry's holding the line here, and they're basically going to be getting shot from multiple directions by our forces here. You can see this cap square is being overwhelmed, but at least it's slowing the enemy down. I can behead some guys here with my executioner axe. It's slow but deadly. So these guys up top here should be shooting downhill, so with a nasty effect. Now to pin their infantry in place, we charge with our infantry, and I'm going to join them here. This guy's got enough firepower. He can cut through to some of the enemy troops. I see very few of our named companions left in this battle, but just like the first battle, if we can survive this, a lot of those guys will have 30, 40, 50% health after this because of that perk. God, the enemy's like overrunning us here. I'm gonna have to retreat to my archers. He swings so slow, he's highly vulnerable to guys with a fast weapon. We got our revenge there. Let's get these archers into battle. They don't have a clean shot. Sometimes when your archers don't have a clean shot, it's better to charge with them, right? If they're just standing there waiting for a shot, sometimes in a situation like this where we're being overrun by enemy infantry, have your archers charge. This guy's almost dead. He's getting a few more executions with his executioner axe. He took a beating. I think whoever his companion is that's leading his army must have high medicine skill. This guy will work. I was looking for another guy with an axe, but this guy, I guess this is gonna have to go here. It's not letting us position these archers. These archers have a decent little ridge here to set up, but at this stage the battle is extremely messy. I would love to tell you that I have brilliant plans and that this is going exactly to plan, but sometimes battles don't. Sometimes they're fucking messy. I'm sure you know all about this. This is a common occurrence here, even though we've played a lot. Sometimes things just go to shit and it turns into a giant scrum. The next thing you know, you're fucking getting your ass beat by an archer. Fucking assholes. I need a horse. Of course, the enemy's out like that, like I have a bounty or something like that. The good thing is I do have my setting on so that the quality of the troops throughout the battle is the same. I've been experimenting with that a little bit lately, and in this battle we have the homogeneous unit strength, which basically means later in the battle we'll still have some tier 5 troops popping up. We're going to need them because the early stages of this battle have been ugly. I think we're going to win. You know, a lot of times I'm prognosticating and I'm wrong, but if we do win, it's not going to be by a wide margin. I'm going to try the very same setup here with these new troops. It worked pretty well the first time. Calves in a square there, infantry down here, archers with some crossfire. Now these archers have a good position. The crossbowmen can get across there, although the enemy's already coming. Let's have these guys stand still. I'm not gonna spend the time for them to get across. You guys can stand still, start firing from where you are. And let's have this cav flank this infantry. The infantry's all magnetized to our main infantry block. Let's have these cav charge right into the infantry side here. I can do a little bit of charging. This guy actually, I don't know if he has good riding skill or what, but this is an infantry dude, and he's pretty fucking adept on a horse. I mean, it still runs into trees like my other guy, but he's got a spear. He's like totally capable on a horse. I'm doing major damage with my spear. So the screen is almost entirely green. The good news at this stage of the battle is that the enemy's down to middle and low tier troops. So they're trying to fight us, you know, with weak archers, fairly imperial archers. And we still have tier 4, maybe even tier 5 troops. We're spearing them in the back. Yeah, I see some tier 3 lake rats in there, but there's still some tier 4 and tier 5 too. Time to start getting aggressive here. Their infantry's kind of spread out, and that murderous crossfire is working again. You can just see the enemy. They're not really sure who to attack, and in their indecision, they're being shot by crossbow bolts, arrows, and everything else. It's a pretty nasty crossfire over this river. They're down to recruits here on some level. At least there's some guys coming in here with, you know, kitchen utensils and shit. Now we need to wrap this battle up. I have no idea what these guys are. They're spreading out like it's a fucking convention, a fashion show or something like that. Meanwhile, they're being shot with arrows. This guy's fucking lethal on horse. He's like as good as some of my companions. The screen is all green. It's a matter of time now before the enemy routs. We've got these guys still in beautiful position. We can move them forward at this stage just to ensure the rout occurs. Sometimes in battles like this, the enemy fights it out to the last man, and of course, in this situation, we really need to have the enemy rout here. With the likelihood of another battle after this, we really can't afford to lose another 30 or 40 troops because these stubborn peasants want to die. Kill this lord. Maybe that's why they haven't routed yet. Sometimes if the enemy has a lord, it gives them like a little bit of morale. Oh shit, that didn't kill her. Hit her right in the fucking shoulder with a nasty javelin, and she just kept on riding on. I think it's actually a guy. Can't tell. Look at this shit. This battle has been so long, the fucking sun is starting to rise. It was nighttime when it started, and now it's dawn. Of course, it's been 2 battles. Both of these battles have been at night. We do use the time pass mod. I've talked about it a little bit if you're not familiar with the time pass mod. It's a really good mod. Basically, time stands still in vanilla Bannerlord during a battle. It's an unfortunate part of the game, but these brilliant modders have figured out a way to sort of... There he is. There's that lord. Gotta kill that guy. Kill that guy. Kill that guy and this battle's over, I think. These modders have figured out a way to sort of simulate battle light. The game is not really designed perfectly to handle shadows, right, and stuff like that with the game engine, so it's not a perfect mod. Sometimes you get quirky effects. This guy just won't die. Die! And you go. But what it does, of course, is it adds dynamic lighting to a battle. Just like this, you can start a battle at midnight and end up, you know, routing the enemy off into the sunrise, exactly like we're doing here. Anyways, check out the mod details in the description list. We are successful here with the rising of the sun. A much more egregious losses in this battle. Yeah, we lost almost 800 troops. That's not good. We're also probably starting to get down to lower level troops. And there's more than likely that last army is going to catch us. I think it was seemed like it was a Battanian army, although my memory could be wrong. And companions didn't get that many kills, of course, because a lot of them had low health, right? A lot of our companions had like 20% health, right? So they that was a brutal fight, and we're probably in for another one. So again, I'm going to break these up into 3 parts. These battles here, if there is a 3rd part here. Hey, we got some troops at least. That'll help. Some prisoners, and we get a bunch of upgrades. But stay tuned for the 3rd part. Hopefully you're enjoying this chaos, this overnight battle here, and I will see you friends next time.